everybody. I know you've probably already heard about 15,000 different ways to approach the open, but these are going to be my tips moving forward as this week starts the first week of the fall version of the CrossFit Games Open. Tip number one, if you have not been training any open style workouts in intensity, volume, loading for the past 6 months, the number one thing you can do is build a time machine, go back in time 6 months ago and actually start training for the open. That's probably the biggest tip I could give you. If you're not prepared for it, you're not going to be prepared for it now. So make sure maybe next year you take time in doing those kind of workouts, repeat open workouts once every couple weeks to make sure that you're getting in the right style of training, the right style of loading, the right style of effort and intensity that goes into the open workouts. It's very specific. You can train that and get better at it as the year goes on. If you haven't been doing it up until this week, build that DeLorean, head back 6 months from now, start training, and then you'll be good to go. Tip number two, how I will approach the open as in terms of a weekly approach would be Monday, Tuesday are going to be probably my hardest days of training that are kind of focused away from the open. Wednesday will probably be a swim day, kind of something low impact, recovery a little bit. Thursday I'll probably take the majority of the day to stretch, foam roll, and mobilize those kind of things. And then Friday I'll plan on hitting the workout with a group of people probably over at CrossFit Polaris, if not in this barn gym. And then that actually gives me some time to redo if I need to by Monday, depending on what my score is. So through the weekend, like if I'm really satisfied with how I did on Friday night, I won't touch it again. I'll just kind of move along with my training exactly as how I want to. And then do the same kind of thing going into the next week. Monday, Tuesday, go really hard. Wednesday, back off a little bit and still do something. Probably swim, like I mentioned, something low impact. Thursday is a day off, recovery day. Friday, hit the workout hard. Now, if it's something where I want to repeat, I'll do a similar day on Saturday that I would do to a Wednesday. So I'll still work on movements that I need to work on to get better overall as I head into the Filthy 150 coming up in November. But the intensity will be dropped down a little bit, and it'll depend on what that open workout is for what my training is for that weekend. So if there's a whole bunch of squat cleans, if there's a whole bunch of wall balls, something like that, I'll probably stay away from squatting on the weekend and probably approach some different movements that aren't necessarily in that open workout over the weekend if I want to do a redo on Monday. That's probably how my week will kind of be set up as I roll into the weekend to do the open workout. Tip number three, your warm-up style for the actual workout. A lot of this is going to depend on seeing what the actual workout is. So I like to do a very general warm-up. My number one thing that I always go to is I jump on a bike or a rower, where for about 10 minutes, I'll do 10 seconds all-out burst, about as hard as I can go, maybe one gear back from that. 50 seconds of just easy pedaling, easy rowing, 10 seconds hard, 50 seconds easy. And I've kind of come to understand myself to the point where it takes about 6 to 8 minutes before I start to break a sweat when I do that every single time. It almost doesn't matter the temperature in the room. Within 6 to 8 minutes, I get a nice light sweat going. I feel like the blood's flowing through my whole body. And from there, I'm kind of ready to do some stretches. Now again, depending on the movement, when I'm going to stretch and how, or what I'm going to stretch and how I'm going to stretch is very dependent on what the workout is. So prior to working out, I'm only going to hold my stretches for about 30 seconds at a time, 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, this isn't something where you want to warm up and stretch before an open workout where you're stretching for 2 to 3 minutes at a time on one joint or one muscle group, okay? 30 seconds to kind of get some range of motion movement in there, and from there I'm going to do dynamic movements. So like I said before, maybe the workout has squat cleans or wall balls. I'm going to spend some time with an empty barbell, some air squatting, just some things where I can do a little bit more specific movement patterns to kind of get warmed up for the movements that are coming up in the workout, right? And then the last thing that I like to do is, whatever the workout is, cut down the reps maybe in half, or think of like sets of 3 to 5 of whatever movements it is. Let's take double unders and power snatches was a workout one year. I'm going to rifle through a couple rounds of that at a decreased amount of reps that the actual workout has, so decreased from what the actual workout calls for. So let's say it's 30 and 15, 30 double unders, 15 snatches. I'm going to do 10 double unders, 5 snatches, a couple rounds back and forth, as fast as I can possibly go. And to do that, or the reason that I'm doing that is to kind of prime my system to move hard, to move fast, to kind of get it ready to push through a hard workout. So I'm going to kind of jack my heart rate up a little bit and then take about 5-10 minutes rest of just slowly again kind of moving around, making sure I'm staying loose before I actually have to go do the workout. And what can happen when you actually do that is your body will super compensate to the point where your heart rate gets jacked up a little bit, your adrenaline levels will spike a little bit, and your body will be prepped for whatever movements that you now have them ready for that workout. So that's kind of how I would approach a warm-up. Number 4, this can be a big one. Manage your transitions. This is something that I don't think a lot of people may look into. It's something that I often forget, but manage those transitions. I recently did the Wadapalooza qualifiers workout. There was a workout where there was thrusters, rowing, and burpees over the rower. And I made like a couple real critical errors in just my transitions. When I went back and actually watched the workout, I was losing probably between 6 and 7 seconds a round, just in how not only I set up the equipment, but how I got on and off the rower, where I ended my burpees at, and the amount of time it took me to walk back to my barbell. So depending on the number of rounds you're going to get or try to achieve in an AMRAP, or maybe the workouts for time, if you're talking 5 rounds of a workout and you can find 6 seconds where you just walked a couple extra steps, or you got off a piece of equipment in the wrong direction and had to turn around, step over the barbell, whatever it is, you're talking 5 seconds a round. That's 25 seconds in a workout. In the Worldwide Open, 25 seconds can be the difference between 4th and 2000, something like that sometimes. So, right, just a big drop-off can happen with that amount of time, just in changing how you set your equipment up and being mindful of how you move from your barbell to your rower to the pull-up bar to your double unders, whatever it is. Be mindful of making those quick transitions. Repeats. Repeat workouts usually come out once a year. We always redo some workout. Testing and retesting is part of finding out how fit you are. So if a workout comes out that we've done in prior years, the number one thing you can do is go back and look at not only your old score, but then strategize, right? So it might have been a 10-minute AMRAP and maybe you got 5 rounds of a workout in. That means you did about a round every 2 minutes. So in order to improve your score, know that you want to shoot for around every minute 55, right? So you're just going to try to drop that time down it took you per round in an AMRAP to try to PR your score. You also get the advantage of going back and looking at other people's scores. What were the best scores that year? What was, how fit was 2012 Rich Froning, Josh Bridges, Jason Khalipa, Scott Panchik, any of those guys? You can look at their scores and try to mimic what they did, right? Mimic what some of the best people in the game did and alter that so that you can get a PR and maybe set the best score yourself. So take the time to look at those scores and look at how you can improve them just by increasing maybe 1 or 2 seconds per round or increasing that intensity a little bit, or it might actually be slowing down in the early rounds and giving yourself some more time to evenly split rounds in an AMRAP. Repeat in the weekend. So this is tip number, I think we're on 6. I have no idea. It's still a good tip. If you're going to repeat the workout in the weekend, again, one of the best things you can do is either do the workout Thursday night right when it's announced, or Friday as soon as you know what the workout is, right? Get it in as quick as you can so you get an understanding of how the workout feels, where your weak points are going to be, where your strong points are going to be, and where you can improve after that. Doing the workout early is going to give you the most amount of time to get a recovery day in there, maybe work on some other things in your training that goes away from the movements that are actually in the open workout, and then be able to hit it hard again on Monday. If you start waiting till Saturday, Sunday, in a maximal effort anything, you could look at just a maximal effort 1 rep max squat, quarter mile, 800 meter dash. You're going to need about 48 to 72 hours to actually get your body completely recovered before you can give it 100% go again. So leaving yourself that time frame, that time window to know that you can hit it at least twice as hard as possible in one weekend, getting the workout done on Thursday or Friday early is going to be your best bet. Last tip, number 7, I would say definitely do the workout with friends. Get with a group. Do it in a competition style setting. A lot of gyms have Friday night lights. A lot of gyms, will bring in and have a big event for the open workout. I would definitely do the workout in that setting. If you're just in a gym by yourself, setting up your own camera, you put on some heavy music, all that, nothing is going to be able to replicate having somebody do the workout next to you, okay? Whether or not they're going faster than you, slower than you, having that support group there to cheer you on is always going to get a better effort out of what you're doing than just doing something completely by yourself, right? There's a saying at a church that I go to, life's better in community. Your fitness is going to be better in community as well. So get yourself in competition. If you're a little scared of that, that's okay. Your life worth does not hang on an open workout, okay? So get in the gym, get some competition, friendly competition, push yourself to a level that maybe you didn't think you could go to before. So that would kind of be my last tip. Those are my open tips for this year. I hope you guys have a blast. I'm going to have fun doing it, and I look forward to giving you guys more videos, more tips as the open workouts are released on how I'm going to approach the workout, what I'm going to do to warm up for it, what I thought of the workout, and how I would change things after my first go. Hope you guys enjoyed this.